What is going on, everyone? New York Sports up here, back at it with another New York Knicks video. My first New York Knicks video on the channel. I plan on doing New York Knicks videos for, the future of my channel. I plan on doing Knicks videos. I plan on doing recaps to almost every single game. I'll do my thoughts on the game, and, every night I'll release my video, talking about the game. I'll do videos here and there doing, about the Knicks and whatever is going around in the NBA. I'll do Knicks videos. So if you do want to see more of these type of videos, and drop into the comments or drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys do want to see more Knicks content on the channel, drop a like on this video. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into this game between the New York Knicks and the Utah Jazz. And the New York Knicks came away with the victory at MSG as they won 112-100 over the Utah Jazz. Now the Knicks did not look good early on in the game. The Knicks were getting smoked early on, and honestly, I thought the Knicks team was going to get blown out by the Jazz. I really did. I thought the Knicks were, were just going to cave in and lose to the Jazz. I really did. Because, Utah's a team that has a lot of talent, and, they were draining threes, early on in the game, but that's not how the game went down. The New York Knicks, they fought, and they did not give up, and they came back and won the basketball game. Let's talk about the first quarter. So the Knicks were not good defensively. The Jazz were nailing down threes, and the Knicks were pretty much getting burned. I think they were down by at least 20 points at some point early on in the first half. They were getting killed. I think they were down by 20, 17 to 20 points. It was not looking good for the New York Knicks, but this team fought, and that's what happens when you have a good head coach. When you have last year when you have a head coach like David Fizdale, the Knicks went, last year when they were getting, when they were losing by 10 plus points early, you thought they would cave in, roll over and die, right? Well, that's not this team. When you have an identity, when you have a decent head coach and a guy like Tom Thibodeau, this Knicks team is not going to give up, and that's not what they did. They came back and won the basketball game. They played really good to end the first half. I believe they cut that Utah's lead to 12, but we're still down by a decent amount of points. We're still down by double digits, so you'd still think we're going to lose, right? Wrong. They came out in the third quarter absolutely awesome. They were, hitting their three-pointers. They were playing good defense, and they weren't missing as much as their shots. And they had a lot more energy in the second half. You could tell the Knicks team started to play a lot better, in the second half. Because they started off, I don't know, it was a decent run, to start the second half. And, Utah, they were still, making their shots. They weren't terrible. They weren't missing everything. But, the Knicks were, doing their thing, and they were creeping up the lead, for Utah got smaller and smaller and smaller. And then the Knicks were right there. I believe they cut the Utah's lead around 4 points late in the third quarter. And, they ended up taking the lead, I believe, going into the fourth quarter. This Knicks team, we've seen this multiple times this season. We saw it yesterday, or not yesterday, but the last game against the Atlanta Hawks. This team, they were down by 15 points. The Hawks are a really good offensive team, and the Knicks found a way to come back and win. And they did the same thing tonight against a really good team in the Utah Jazz. I love what I love what I'm seeing from this Knicks team. I'm really liking it. Because we didn't see this from this team last year. You could tell how much better this team is compared to last year. This team does not give up. They continue to fight. They go out and they're going to give even if a team has more talent than them or is better than them, they're going to give their opponents a run for their money. They're going to give their opponents a tough matchup. The New York Knicks are no longer, an easy win anymore. This team's going to come out and they're going to fight. And that's what I love from this Knicks team. And the player of this game today has got to be Austin Rivers. What a game for Austin Rivers. What a pickup in the offseason for the Knicks. When we picked him up from the Rockets, I didn't see, Rivers becoming a great player for this team. But he has been phenomenal. I get it's a small sample size, but Austin Rivers has been our best three-point shooter so far. He was fantastic tonight. By far, he's been, ever since he, came up from the injury, ever since the Raptors game, Rivers has been maybe even our best player. He's been fantastic for the Knicks, and I'm really impressed, and I'm really happy of how well Rivers has been playing for the Knicks so far, and he really seems to like working with Tom Thibodeau, and also other Knicks players. They seem to really like working, with Tom Thibodeau. And we didn't see those positive comments from David Fizdale last year from the Knicks. We didn't see that. And it just proves that this Knicks team has an identity, and they're getting a lot better. You could see from this Knicks team. I mean, last year's Knicks team didn't even come close to a 5-3 record. I don't even know if they were over 500 all season last year. The last year's Knicks team was awful. This team is a lot better, and this Knicks team doesn't have, this Knicks team does not have a lot more talent than they did last year. but they come out and they have a different mentality towards the game. And they're not going to, just because a team has more talent than them, like the Utah Jazz, they're not going to roll over and die. You know what I mean? And Julius Randle also had a fantastic game. I know he plays a lot of minutes, but he had 30 points today. Julius Randle is a phenomenal basketball player. He had a fantastic game. RJ Barrett, not great, but still not terrible. Did play pretty decent defense, but didn't shoot the ball too well. But again, RJ Barrett, I didn't think was necessarily terrible in this game, but again, wasn't great. He's been really good the past couple games, so I'm not going to rip RJ Barrett for having not a great game. But I think he only had 11 points. But again, I'm not going to rip RJ Barrett. He still has had, he's had, multiple good games, earlier in the season. So I'm not going to complain. But he wasn't really that great today. Elfrid Payton, really good game from Elfrid Payton. It sucks that Quickly only played 6 minutes in this game, but again, Elfrid Payton, he's been doing his job. I'm not going to complain, about Elfrid Payton. He did a pretty good job today. Kevin Knox was non-existent. He didn't really do anything today. Mitch Robinson, really good game from Mitch Robinson. I thought he did a very good job. Who else? Frank didn't play. I don't know if there's anybody I'm missing. Quickly played like 6 minutes. I don't even know if he got a point, but Quickly did not play much. And I know a lot of Knicks fans aren't happy that Quickly is barely playing. I want him to be a starter too, but again, he's still a rookie. He's coming off an injury. Let's be patient with Emmanuel Quickly. I don't want to rush Quickly into becoming, a starter for this team. I think we need to, let Peyton start for a little bit longer, and then when we start to, the season starts to get, really in full swing, I think Quickly could become the starter. But for right now, he can be a bench player for now, and then he'll become the starter eventually. Reggie Bullock hit some big threes at the end of the game. Even though I don't think Reggie Bullock's a very good player for this team, he hit some big threes at the end of the game. I'm not going to complain, about Reggie Bullock today. And the whole Knicks team just played really well. It was a team effort, and the Knicks did a really good job today beating the Utah Jazz 112-100 at the Madison Square Garden. And they get to 5-3 on the season. We got OKC on Friday night at the MSG as we look to continue this West Coast slate of teams. OKC, they're not a good basketball team. Chris Paul's no longer there. He went to the Suns. No Russell Westbrook anymore. No Dennis Schroeder. OKC is a bad team. Plain and simple. We should be able to beat them. And for the first time in forever, this could be a trap game. Knicks fans are not used to having a trap game. On Friday night, this could be a trap game for the Knicks. I think we're a better team than OKC, and I think we should be able to beat them on Friday night at the Garden. So I want to know your thoughts on the upcoming game against the Thunder down in the comments. Do you think we'll win? Do you think we'll lose? I'm pretty sure you'll think we'll win. The way the Knicks have been playing lately, and you look at the talent OKC has, we're a much better team than them. We should be able to beat OKC, especially at home. So I want to know your thoughts on the upcoming game down in the comments. I want to know your thoughts on tonight's game, Austin Rivers' performance, and RJ Barrett's performance. Your thoughts on Quickly only playing 6 minutes. Your thoughts on Julius Randle's performance down in the comments. And if you do want to see more Knicks content, drop a like on this video. I'd really appreciate it. So that's going to do it for this video. Next time I'll talk to you guys will be Knicks Thunder Friday night at Madison Square Garden, Knicks Thunder. That's the next time I'll do have a Knicks video out to you guys. So that's going to do it for this video. I might have a Giants video tomorrow. So if you are a Giants fan, and maybe you're new to the channel because you're only a Knicks fan and you're not a Giants and Yankees fan. If you're new to the channel and you are a Knicks fan, drop a comment. If you are a Knicks fan, say go Knicks down in the comments, because I will be doing Knicks videos for the future of my channel. You can already see I added to my logo. I put a little Knicks logo in between the Giants and Yankees, so I did make a new logo for my channel. I will be having Knicks content on my channel for the future, for the future of my channel. So that's I'm going to be having Knicks videos from now on. So if you guys do enjoy these kind of videos, drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. So that's going to do it for this video. Knicks Thunder on Friday night. Peace.